GB's here, and welcome to a special interview of Into the Squared Circle podcast. Yes, we're on interviewee number 4 from RPW, our fans know as Rocket Pro Wrestling. Of course, Rocket Pro Wrestling's have their next big show, April 15th, going down to St. Joe's Park in Joliet, Illinois, 4 p.m. sharp. That's right, cash only, $15 for general admission, $20 for the front row. Bring your family, bring your friends, bring your aunts and uncles, bring the strangers walking down the street. Invite them to your car. Just don't do that. Don't invite strangers to your car. But what you can do is show up to St. Joe's Park on April 15th for spring break. That's right. And, of course, this is the 4th interview episode. And, again, a shout out to RPW, Rocket Pro Wrestling, Kevin Palmer, the Shelley family. Shout out to Take Action Photography for the awesome interview photos, which you can find, by the way, on Into the Squared Circle podcast on Facebook, also available on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch. That's where I hide out on social media. But as I mentioned, thank you to Take Action Photography, to the lovely miss who took the photos. She has an Instagram, she also has a Facebook, and she also have a Twitter, Take Action Photography. Give her a shout out. Give her a little bit of love on all the awesome photos she take in the Chicagoland pro wrestling scene, of course. All right. So on this special episode, yes, I'm going to have a little short conversation with Timmy Too Sweet. Well, who is Timmy Too Sweet? It's very simple. If you've been to an RPW show, you know who is Timmy Too Sweet is. If you've never been to an RPW show, check out their YouTube page, Rocket Pro Wrestling on YouTube. Give them a like, give them a subscribe. You'll know who he is. He is the ring announcer of RPW. Now, in their interview, if you listen to it, I said in my personal opinion that he is the voice of RPW. Of course, if you're there watching it live, of course he's the voice, because he's the ring announcer. But according to Timmy Too Sweet, he said he is not the voice of RPW. He's referring to Steve Enelt, who was on the commentary team with Shelley. They're the voice of RPW. But Timmy Too Sweet, I enjoy Timmy as a ring announcer for RPW. He pumps up the crowd. He has the deep voice. Get the crowd up to their feet. He gives that crowd an extra special feeling. Just being a spectator in the crowd, him getting the crowd riled up, makes you feel like you're part of the show. That's why Timmy is so special and a big part for RPW. And that's what I'm saying. He is the voice of RPW. When he hits that ring and introduce every men and women rocket stars that come down that ramp into the ring, and of course announcing the winner of the match, and you hear that legendary voice, you know it's Timmy Too Sweet. Well, here's this fine interview I did with Timmy Too Sweet, courtesy of Rocket Pro Wrestling. What's going on, everybody? This is your host, GB's, live from the St. Joe's Park in Joliet, Illinois. Rocket Pro Wrestling presents Shamrock Showdown. I have a very special guest right next to me, and he is the voice of RPW, mainly in the ring, of course, Mr. Timmy Too Sweet. Timmy, how are you?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is Timmy Too Sweet here. And as far as the voice of Rocket Pro, that would have to go to my good man, Steve Arendt, on our YouTube channel. He is our commentator.
All right, Timmy. Well, thank you so much for taking the time, as always, to do this podcast of ours. How excited are you for today's show, Shamrock Showdown?
I got to be honest, I'm actually very nervous about tonight. I don't get nervous a lot for these shows, but oh my goodness, if you were here at Cupid's Carnage last show, there were 405 fans. Count that again, 405. And we're even turning out more people. I can't even imagine if there's going to even be room in here to breathe. We're going to have so many people here, the fire marshal's going to come. He might even join the crowd too. We might have to bribe him a little bit, but we're still going to have this show. It's going to get bigger, better. We're hitting more, bigger, and better every other show. And for Gunner Brave, it's spring break for the next show, by the way.
That's right. Spring break on April 15th. That's the next show. As Timmy's Too Sweet mentioned, this place will be packed. This place will be sold out. A hot crowd. By the way, I was a spectator for the last show at Cupid Carnage, and I tell you, that crowd was hot. as always. And, the Shamrock Showdown's going to be no different, man. This is going to be off the roof. So, Timmy, I'm going to ask you, tell me a little bit about yourself. When did pro wrestling begin in your life?
Well, I'd have to actually go back to the year 1997. Being in high school with my crew, we had the Backyard Brawler Wrestling Federation. Yes, it was basically a bunch of us little juggalos that had seen way too much wrestling on TV and started doing it in our backyards. And when we did that for a couple years, and then you got to fast forward, I'd say 2014. We used to go, me and my wife, we'd be fans for Blitz when they were here at St. Joseph Park. And we were watching that. That's where I met the infamous Damian Saint. And when we became friends, we'd start hanging out. And then he started working out in South Bend, Indiana for a place called EHF. Then I was selling T-shirts for him over there, and then a spot opened up as a ring announcer. They asked me to join along, and I've been doing it ever since.
That's just remarkable. It tells you right there, this guy is very passionate for pro wrestling, of course. And from here on now in history in RPW, what's your favorite moment so far in RPW since your time being here?
I would love to give you a favorite moment. A specific moment. Every show is bigger and better. I couldn't just pick out one spot. I mean, let's look at the last show at Cupid's Carnage with Gunner Brave and Dillinger. That match with all the barbed wire, it was just insane. And then just even watching Rion Skills turn on Maximus Orion in the middle of the crowd after doing the biggest wave I have ever seen at any venue. And as far as specifics, tonight I'm going to have a whole new favorite thing tonight, and you got to get down here. The doors open up at 4 o'clock. Ring bell is at 5. It is $15 for general. I would tell you that $20 for ringside, but those have already sold out, so you need to get down here immediately.
So, as a ring announcer, what's the most outrageous thing have you witnessed? I know that's crazy, right? But what's something I'm like, did that just really happen? It's just like, what's something in your time in RPW that you see and you're like, holy crap, like this actually happened?
Oh, I got to go back to Lights Out with Gunner Brave. When they tore up the ring, they literally tore up the ring. They started removing wood planks from the bottom. And then Gunner Brave, and I forget who was he going against, but they both go right through the ring into the floor. It was just an insanity lights out match. And if you can watch that on YouTube, if anybody wants to go out and see that match and what I'm talking about, there are all our videos are up there. And again, picking out the most insane thing at Rocket Pro, that's a really hard thing for all the things that happen around here.
All right, so as I mentioned, I talked to Gunner Brave, and I mentioned speaking to the future wrestlers. Now, I want to ask you, Timmy, if any inspiring ring announcers out there who wants to be a Howard Finkel, Tony Schimmel, or Timmy Too Sweet, who's right up there with them on the Mount Rushmores of ring announcers, there's anything you would say to them right now?
All I can say for advice, when you're about to go out there, you give it all. You got 5 minutes out there to make people believe you. And for those 5 minutes, you give everything. And it doesn't matter if it's 5 people in the crowd or 5,000. You give 100% every time.
And as you mentioned, like 5 minutes, were there points where there was things were like tightening up really close prior to the show time or prior to the match? Were there moments like those that actually does happen to you in the past?
Oh, I'm scared every time I go out. Like I said earlier, I'm nervous about tonight even more. I have never gone out there where I am I got this. No, every time I go out there, it is a miracle I get through this. I am nerve-wracking right now.
Well, guess what, Timmy? Every time I come here to watch a show and see you out there introducing the men and women come walking down that ramp, I mean, you just like injection into the show, get people riled up, get the crowd roaring. Man, it gets my blood pumping moving. It makes me want to go through a table. That's how great you are. Every time you come out to that ring, you're awesome, man. And I tell you what, you're the voice of Rocket Pro Wrestling out in that ring. So, Timmy, I just want to say thank you so much as always. Joining the podcast, but just coming out there, entertaining the fans, the family that come here to spread their hard-earned money from the front row all the way up to the back, and just bringing their kids, their family. I mean, I see so many generational families out there from grandparents to their parents to bringing their kids and, aunts and uncles and their, neighbors. And it's just always awesome to see these generational crowd of people coming to these shows and having a great time. So, Timmy, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me. I can't wait for tonight. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, get down here. Doors open at 4, ring bells at 5. It is $15 to get in. That is the best money you're going to ever spend.
That's right. I mean, it's a bang for your buck, man. I mean, I feel like RPW is just giving you way too much for $20. This is a stacked show, and like Timmy mentioned, April 15th, the next spring show that's going down. What's it called again?
It is spring break. We're gonna have a nice little spring party around here. We're gonna have balloons. We're gonna have beach balls. We're gonna have whatever it takes. We might even have barbecue if I can talk Bill into it.
Barbecue. Oh, man, I better go to the store and get some meat and get some hot dogs. It's going to be a hell of a party here at RPW. So, Timmy, thank you so much. And where can people find you at?
Oh, they can find me over on Facebook, Instagram. Just look up Timmy Two Sweets page up on Facebook. You're going to see a lot of that. We got a lot of things coming up this summer and a special little project that I got, but I'm not allowed to talk about it. My manager is looking at me like saying no, but I have something really, really special, and it's wrestling related, but it's not wrestling related. That's all I can say about it.
Oh, nice little tease right here. Man, oh, man. I'm going to try to keep quiet on this as well then. All right, Timmy, thank you so much as always.
Thank you,
Have
sir.
fun tonight, man. It's going to be a great time tonight.
How sweet it is.
That's right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, take care.